How does the resurrection of the body then looks like? It's very difficult, of course, to explain this. And you see that even St. Paul has tried to find images, imagination, to try to understand how the body also resurrects, and not only the mind. And St. Paul uses, in fact, the example of the seed and the plant. And he says, dying is like a seed that you put into the ground. It dies there, but at the same time it transforms itself into a plant. Something new, something that was previously unimaginable. And by analogy he is saying the same happens when the human person dies and the body transforms itself in a new reality. So you see also Paul, even if he said that we look in a dimmed mirror, tries to find representations. There's a dialectics between positive and negative theology at work. Of course, the resurrection of the body is a very specific Catholic confession, but in fact it's also a consequence of this idea that God saves us in our totality. In a Catholic anthropology, there is no dualism between the body and the mind, like you have in Platonic thinking. The body and the mind are coherent into one holistic person. And if we say that God saves, then he saves the whole human person, also implying his or her body. And this relates also to the Catholic tradition with its strong attention to the human senses. In the Catholic liturgy, we see, we feel the water, we smell, we have the fire that is at work. We give each other hands. So we are very bodily recognized human beings in the Catholic liturgy. If we say that the human person is created in the image of God and God saves us, then he has to save us in our totality and not just as a spirit. But of course, again, it's very difficult to imagine that because we see a dead body. Sometimes a concept to help this understand, to make it plausible, is to understand this body as the spiritual body. It's the spiritual body that resurrects, meaning the body not so much as we have it as an object, but the body as that what we are. It's the body that we are that is saved. It's the body experience that is saved, if you want. To make it concrete by comparison, if you have someone who is a victim of rape, that person as a victim can be hurted physically, even very violently physically, but it's possible that these physical wounds are healing. But that does not imply that the person is healed completely. He can be wounded even in his or her experience of the body itself. Not in the body that he has, because the object has healed, but in the body that he is. And that body can be damaged. And that's a negative example. A positive example then is that if we are saved, if we are healed, if we are lifted up, it's also in that experience of that body, that positive experience of that body that we are, and not just the body that we have. And I think that this makes it more understandable, plausible for people today to understand from a post-critical belief perspective the resurrection of the body, which is of course a crucial element of our understanding of resurrection.